Wait, Twilight, are you aware of Discord's magic in the Doctor and Jack? Discord's been messing with our messages, and Jack has only referred to it as an infection. So I thought it was impossible for you to figure out what it was, that it was Discord. Is there anything you can do to help them?
I've known for a while, but I've said before that the memory spell won't work on him because I don't have memories of him before it happened.
Twilight, Aid's here. Trust them. They friends of Doc. Though Doc don't feel like they are anymore. We all want to help, so this help the doctor plan is a go. And Jack, you tell us what the next steps are. You're the smarty who might got an idea what next to say and or do to get Twilight up to speed.
See, your mind and magic with our technology might give us a solution to this. If you were to join, you'd get to do research with us and help keep this universe together.
The whole universe?
Twilight, be very careful around Jack. Just like the doctor, he too was infected by Discord curse, meaning he may display a very unsavory side about himself, just like the doctor has in past. If you do join Torchwood, keep a very close eye on him.
I'm infected with it too, and I can't die, so I can be a research subject, no problem.
Twilight, doesn't Jack remind you of anyone? He seems pretty loyal to his cause.
And trust me, I've taken worse. I'm willing to go through hell for this. We have a chance here to save the doctor and everyone else. We should take it, shouldn't we?
We would have gotten along, I'm sure of it.
Why, we know this must be a shock since he's been keeping so much from you. But the Doc you know is not the real him. He's abandoned his own children, threatened to beat Ditzy multiple times, did beat her leaving her in the hospital, and shot Jack. He's sick. He's very, very sick, and he needs help. For the sake of everyone, please, trust him.
These are the doctor's friends, and they're trying to help him. This may be your last chance to help solve a friendship problem.
This is the biggest friendship problem I've ever seen.
Twilight, if you can't trust them, trust us. The doctor needs serious help, and the only way you can get that is if you all work together.
Shay, let's forget about the universe for a second.
Either way, you all care about him, so maybe focus on what you have in common.
We all forget that we really care about the doctor. Maybe even love him. And that he needs our help. We know that he can be wonderful and that he's not supposed to be the way he is now. We know we never want to be like this. If he's still good around you, Twilight, then it means he's still in there. Somehow you bring the good out of him. And I'm sure that you really can help him.
Jack and Titsy, the doctor has done a lot of awful stuff over the past year, but to Twilight, he's the only friend she has left. You're going to have to make a strong argument. Be kind, considerate, maybe offer her friendship as well as a post in Torchwood.
But besides that, too, I'm really sorry about everything that's happened to you. You must be really aching so badly inside. It's probably really hard to reach out to any pony. So I'm offering to be your friend. If you can make the doctor happy, even a little, that's all I need to know that you're worth being friends with.
Hey, Jack. Do you think maybe Derby would be the key to getting Twilight to join your cause?
I'd love to be friends.
Absolutely.
Derby, despite everything you've been through, you continue to be kind. That's really commendable. I think it's commendable.
Being kind is important, especially when times are bad. Being bigger or sad all the time won't really help any opponent. And I'm sure a lot of us could really use some kindness right now.
Twilight, do you know any secrets about Discord's curse?
Secrets? Nothing I can really think of other than using the memory spell to fix it.
So, just how much does everyone know about Discord's curse here? Perhaps Torchwood, Derpy, and Twi can exchange notes?
I don't know much at all. I should have known it was just not Discord, but I just couldn't make the connection. I'm a dummy.
You're not dumb. Discord's magic distorts our perception of him, so it's difficult to make the right connections. Torchwood is somewhat familiar with his magic. We studied the quarantine scar he left back in the Air of Chaos. If Twilight joins, we can definitely share notes.
Twilight, can't you at least share with them what you know about being discordant?
For me, when I was under the curse, I lost all hope. My magic and I suddenly seemed useless. And I felt like giving up on everything. I didn't feel smart enough to fix the problem.
Is it possible to use someone else's memories to help the doctor?
Twilight, since the spell to restore the doctor won't work because you don't have memories of the good doctor, can't you use Jack or Derpy's? Hers especially, since the two had a close bond.
It might be possible, but I'd have to make a new spell for it, and that could take some time.
Well, like I said before, you're welcome to experiment on me.
Twilight, is there any way for a non-unicorn to use the memory spell that cures Discord's curse? Or any kind of method to use someone other than the spellcaster's memory?
I don't know. I'm not even sure other unicorns could replicate the spell. There may be other methods to sharing memories with other ponies, but I need to do more research.
Probably wouldn't work, but what if we sent the doctor back to his home universe? Would Discord's magic still work in another universe?
Well, theoretically, if he went back to a universe with no magic, then yeah, Discord's magic would stop working. But trust me, I've looked and looked for ways to get back, and I haven't found any.
Twilight, please be careful. The doctor trusts you more than anyone. Maybe even more than the TARDIS at this point. Don't do anything to break that trust. He can't find out you're helping Jack and Derpy.
I don't want to keep secrets from him, but you're probably right. In order to help him, I can't tell him.
Perhaps it's time to hear Twilight's decision.
All right. As long as you help me too, I'll join this Torchwood for the doctor's sake.
Twilight, you should have a backup plan in case Jack tries to kill the doctor. After all, I don't think the Master would be happy if you try to kill the doctor.
And to make sure you don't try anything rash.
Not even going to argue with that. Okay. Twilight, there's something that's bothering me. How did he even find the doctor in the first place?
Oh, I started a blog and saw some of his posts. He seemed like he needed a hug, so I responded to him with an offer, and he showed up here.
How?
Excuse me?
How did you have access to the internet?
I don't know. I was just lonely and used a spell on my computer, I guess. And then I just talked to it, and it started getting questions.
Where did you get a computer?
Maybe I built it.
Maybe.
Oh, I don't honestly remember. Everything was a bit of a blur after what happened with my friends. I was just desperate for some kind of connection again.
The thing is, there shouldn't be an internet and there shouldn't be computers here. Torchwood has computers only because we have access to future technologies.
That doesn't make any sense.
You're right, it doesn't make sense. I don't know what possessed you to build a computer, or what gave you a computer, but whatever it was, I think it wanted you to get signals from the doctor. I don't know if it was Discord or some other force, but you need to be careful.
Why has the idea that Twilight shouldn't have a computer never dawned on me?
That's how Discord works. You can change things in a way that makes them seem like they've always been that way, at least when he's being more subtle.
You also communicate with you guys through computers. You think the same force is behind that?
It might be the reason we're connected at the very least.
Maybe your computer is getting an internet signal from the human world that Sunset shimmers in, Twilight.
Maybe that's where I got the idea for a computer. I wasn't there long enough to learn about the internet, though. That idea just sort of popped into my head.
Well, do you think because of the Doctor's arrival in this universe, Discord got more information on modern technology and is trying to push everyone together? It feels like more and more timelines and universes are making ponies from entirely different realities meet. Or do you think Discord didn't realize the danger the realities were in by the Doctor's antics and has a totally different plan in store?
I don't think Discord cares about the dangers where he might have learned of human technology. I'm not sure, but that's just one more universe being bled into ours. One that really shouldn't be whatever he's planning out big.
Jack, how and when did you started receiving questions? Did some force compel you to get a computer and internet? And what universe did it happen in? Is there a universe you'd like to revisit?
Torchwood was provided computers and networking by Blue, who has access to and knowledge of that technology. It's a codename for a reason.
Thinking that, we're going to need to think of all the paradox level possibilities. Let's run over the ideas. What if all the problems we got to work with are linked up, and like the Discord problem, the Twilight problem, and the Doctor problem are just one big problem all linked together?
It's a good idea to assume that almost everything that's what it should be is because of Discord.
Is there a possibility that Twilight has already infected herself? Jack can pop a cap in his head whenever he needs to, but Twilight is probably mortal since she lost her wings. Twilight, are you aware that you started turning gray too after reading that letter about Discord's return a while back? You might still be affected too.
I started turning gray. Oh dear, I hadn't thought about that possibility. If the Doctor is contagious, then maybe it's affecting me too. All we can do is try to keep a strong will.
Twilight, why did your wings disappear after you stepped down from the throne? I get giving up your title, but I don't understand how the physiological change follows from that.
I used a spell to remove wings. It was difficult to reverse the spell that
Made them, but I didn't think I deserved them, so I was determined to find a way.
Twilight, do you think you'll be able to save the Doctor?
I don't think it's something I could do on my own, but maybe working with Torchwood, there's a chance.
Minuet, what was the Doctor like before he stole the TARDIS?
He was impulsive, quick to anger and frustration. He could fill a room with his personality and win over the worst. And he had the expansive option of kindness, which many Time Lords don't have.
Minuet, careful. Don't get too emotional around Theta right now. He is some deep trouble, and it catches. Be good to him. He really does try his best.
I have no intention of doing wrong by him. I hope that much is clear. If there is trouble, then the path towards responsibility is where we're going to head.
Minuet, who are the two beings that can bring balance to Theta's actions that you mentioned?
Cochet and myself. But he's in Canterlot handling the world, and that leaves me far freer to look out for Theta.
Minuet, it seems that the TARDIS won't allow you to see your other form, Ananta.
That makes a little more sense. Knowing what I do about the TARDIS race, it has more to do with Theta's madness than the lady's choices regarding such a thing. But I've been wrong before. It wouldn't be the first time I've been in awe of these marvelous creatures.
Maybe at least Minuet can figure out there's something different about Ananta, the hourglass. Since she's a time lady and all. Maybe she can smell the regen energy all floating around in there.
There's certainly something amiss. But I was a librarian when I worked with them, so my knowledge of their pathologies is limited. I cannot risk hurting her to treat an illness I don't have experience with.
Why do you call the doctor Theta? Was that his true name?
So, Patience, or Minuet rather, what made you marry the doctor? I'm curious.
It was his name throughout his youth, yes. I chose to marry him because he asked. I was close to both Theta and Cochet, and, well, Cochet and I were the better match by far. It was Theta who took the advantage of most important thing, time.
Now that Minuet has met Ananta, I think it apt to ask her opinion on something important. There were times when Doc was in really stressful situations, mentally and sometimes physically, that during and after the Doc would breathe out regenerative energy, and if Ananta was around, she would capture it and, in her words, save it for him for when he needed it. I may be missing some important pieces of information that the other Narskers might know, but I wanted to know your thoughts, Minuet.
That does change things. He could be leaking regenerative energy. Anata could theoretically gather it for either fuel or even a completely separate regenerative event. I'll keep an eye on the situation.
So, Minnie, can I call you Minnie? If not Minuet, have you ever heard of a creature called Discord?
Discord, what a wretched creature. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the rotten piece of filth had a hand in this. And no, I am you at one creature. Call me Minnie.
So you agree that Gallifrey deserved to be locked away in a pocket dimension, Minuet?
Yes, I'm honestly grateful it's been done. I've seen the advent of the Time Lords, and I'll happily close my eyes now, knowing the race is going to go extinct.
Ah, damn. Finally.
I'm back.
You're doing so very good, Doc. And I need you to know that this is a very difficult choice in time for you. And not long agone,
No,
you,
long ago.
long ago, you wouldn't have even told Twilight about this. But here you are. You're coming so far, and I think all of us, or at least those of us that matter, are very proud of you. You can do this.
I want to feel good about it, but all I feel is dread. I didn't expect things to last with Twilight, but it doesn't make it any less difficult.
That was all pretty poetic, but you know, Doc, you're not wrong. You deliberately lied to Twilight about the person you are, the things you've done. It was cruel to force Twilight to choose between you and her friends when she doesn't even know you. You don't think beating your best friend to an inch of her life, banning your own kids, and murdering another best friend might influence her decision a little?
It really is sounding like the better option is for her to forget I existed.
We just gotta keep adding wives until they behave.
Please, no. I don't need Marilyn and River breathing down my neck, too.
What sexy times could happen between Doc and his two wives? Nothing. Because one don't have the bits, and one isn't really in the mood for such lewd actions.
I'm trying to give up sex anyways, remember?
Doctor, you should tell her about your clone, Time Lord daughter, Ginny, including the human clone of that lives in that alternate universe.
I'd rather just forget Jenny existed. She wasn't supposed to exist in the first place. The only clone we should be concerned about is Pinky's.
You don't even know how old she is. Seems like a pretty common thing to know about someone who you married. No?
Ugh, we were married a long time ago. And when time travel is involved, it's impossible to tell how long it's been for the other person unless they themselves tell you. Who knows how much time she spent in the pony universe?
If the TARDIS and the Eye of the Storm, as you put it, is what allows you to remember, why not being Twilight with you? If you offer to help her with this, and she accepts, you can bring her with you, letting her at least remember fragments of this timeline, while returning the universe to how it's supposed to be.
She wouldn't have to remember all the awful things that have happened to her. She'd never be the same, and her friends would notice. And it's just better if I'm not involved with her.
I understand how hard it would be to let go of Twilight. The people that accept all parts of you, even the ones you hate. It really hurts to lose those, and I can't blame you for wanting to keep her in your life, Doc. You deserve, but I also understand your apprehension. No matter what you choose, I trust your decision. For now, let's just focus on the mission, okay?
Right. Patty, Minuet, and I are about to have a discussion about it. See if two Time Lords can figure it out.
If there's any chance to save Twilight, no matter how slim, take it. Even if it means facing Discord. You know you regret it if you don't try it.
There's nothing I can do about Discord. I'll meddle with the timeline, but I'm not going anywhere near him.
Now that we know she's willing to help, what's the next step to saving Pinky? So what's the first step to fix the stock? Get her back to the source. So what's the first step?
Well, first we need to consider the risks and possibilities. This isn't going to be as simple as going back and making the right thing happen.
So we're gonna start doing a thing, or are we still in the plotting phase of thing doing? I'm not totally sure where we are. Just know that I support you and trust we can figure this out together.
It'd be a bad idea to jump right into it. There needs to be a plan, and a few backup plans. Something on this scale needs to be carefully considered.
Fixing the issue is probably going to be a pain. It's good you have Minuet with you, but the more people that are working together to fix it easier, it'll be on you. Anyone else you could ask for help?
Well, since Twilight was involved in what happened, her input at the very least could be very useful. We need to know what exactly happened when she sent Pinky to the mirror pool, and how to change it.
How does one even go about fixing a problem like this? The obvious answer is at the source if possible. But are we sure Pinky is the cause of the problem, and not an effect of an even larger issue?
It's obvious this was caused by something bigger than Pinky. That's another reason why simply fixing the timeline might not be enough. It could just find another point in time to screw up. Preventing that from happening is another priority. I don't know about stopping the source, but at least blocking it from doing more damage is something.
Well, you better be careful. You know that Jack will follow you, remember. He did go into the future eventually.
And I'll stop him by force if I need to.
Okay, so you said it's very hard to do correctly, to fix the anchor point, yeah? Can you explain what's wrong with maybe just undoing Twilight, sending the wrong Pinkie Pie to the mirror pool? The real Pinkie did say one of the clones played a trick. Couldn't you just undo that? Or would that explode something?
For one thing, we don't know what the clone Pinky might do if we try to stop her. I doubt she'll go down without a fight. For Unless we know how to prevent that exact moment and make sure events play out how they should, there's always the risk of the timeline going wrong in another way.
Be careful, Doc. You're trying to stop the cheating. Might be the spark that caused it, or that's the nightmare that's in my mind right now. Doc, the biggest worry I think we all have about this time travel problem is that our trying to fix it might be the cause of it. You know, basic predestination paradox and all that. Blah blah.
That's another possibility, and why we need to be very careful. We could be the cause, or we could make it worse.
So, can you and Minuet do any research or work to prepare in case Twilight wants you to fix it? Or are you just waiting on her decision?
I won't take any actions until I know what Twilight wants. But in the meantime, planning and researching is all we can do.
That's wisest for now. We can plan thoroughly without haste if we start soon.
Without haste. I do like the sound of that.
Is Minuet along for the ride simply for supervision and emotional support, or are we going to get some dual time or teamwork?
I'm working with him in the way he needs.
I need you to stop being so good with your words.
Once a librarian, always a librarian.
I like her.
The only tiny complaint is they completely skimmed over the fact that the Ronnie exists.
Not facing Discord, sorry, Doc, but with the vibe I've got on the way this plot is rolling, it's gonna all end up with Discord versus you. Oh, that's what the smart money is on. Last I checked the betting odds. But Doc, what if it comes down to it and you have to fight Discord? What if this is all riding on you if you can face him? Will you be able to do it to save everyone?
Discord is too powerful. He has everything planned out. And if he really wanted, he could destroy me in a fraction of a second. But he doesn't want his fun to end, so he'd make it really last.
Doctor, you might need to face Discord, and you don't have to do it alone. Either Twilight has faced Discord once. She can help you once. You help her get her friends back.
Oh, because we all know how well things go when I get others involved. This isn't the same as the Discord Twilight had to seal away. If he wants this universe, I can't stop him.
Doc, we're not trying to be intrusive. We're just trying to figure out what's corrupting the timeline. Everywhere we turn, Discord is right around the corner. Are you sure whatever you saw in the cave isn't connected at all?
What I saw and what's happening now aren't connected, as long as I can help it. But the more I meddle, the more likely they will be. So after this, no doing any favors for the universe.
Apologies if you've been asked this before, but have you considered that the reason you're unwilling to deal with Discord is that in addition to enhancing your negative personality traits, he's put a spell on you to make you afraid and unwilling to deal with him, because usually you eat chaos gods for breakfast.
Yeah, in the human universe, I don't know how to deal with magic, especially not chaos magic. I can't just reverse the polarity and solve a problem now, can I? This is very reasonable self-preservation.
Come on, now. You're the one who's faced Discord before, not us. If you deem him too dangerous, you must have a good reason, and be unfair to expect you just to charge in and save the day without any regard towards your own well-being. Doc, surely there must be another way to approach this situation.
Right. Maybe we can't stop Discord, but maybe we can safeguard against him. Force the correct timeline to lock into place so we can't do anything major with it. It would take a lot of energy, but I at least have an idea of what sort of device would be needed to connect to the TARDIS and pull it off.
So, you don't want to deal with Discord? Understandable, considering what he did to you. How would you feel if someone dealt with him for you?
If someone could solve it for me for once, if someone could step in to take my place and let me retire, what I would give for that. Why is it so wrong for me to want to do something else after having 1,000 years of saving everyone in my memories?
Doctor, how is it that even though all these people believe in you, even after knowing your whole story, you still can't find it in you to believe in yourself, even if only for a little while?
Because all of my failures are burned into my brain. Because everything I believed in was wrong. Because I know the truth, but still cling to the lie like a bloody idiot. Because I'm too scared to let go.
You spent your whole lives being a hero when you didn't have to be, and yet your kindness was taken for granted so many times. Is it really a wonder you're suffering from compassion fatigue? Forget all the nagging. You must have absolutely needed a break from the nonsense of the universe. You bear such heavy burdens that those who nag and nag about you, needing to be a hero, would never be able to comprehend.
It's so much more than fatigue. There's been a hole in me before I encountered Discord. The hole just keeps getting deeper rather than filling up like it should.
No love in my doctor? It's more likely than you think. Free target check.
Those damn changelings. I shouldn't have given them all my love like that. Stupidest thing I've ever done in this life. There's a puddle's worth in what was an ocean. Despite that, I did try to keep solving problems. But I couldn't keep doing it. It's hard to save what you no longer feel passion for. And for whatever insane reason, Twilight was that puddle. It started with her, and I felt it expanding, just a little to a select few every once in a while. And I don't know what's going to happen if I have to say goodbye to her. If I lose what little is there.
Minuet, do you notice anything different about the Doctor, and not just all the pony parts doing his personality seems at all odd?
Oh, it needs to load. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, for a second I thought I lost your voice.
No. No, the picture isn't loading. Watching him like this is difficult. He goes further and further into his pain until he can't see a way out. Odd though, when he doesn't think I'm there, he spirals downward. He flounders from time to time, but the real key to all of this? I think he already knows it. Love and friendship complicate our lives. They get us whipped up in other emotions, cloud our judgment, and show us our vulnerabilities. He's running because that's what he feels comfortable doing when he's manic or vulnerable. The fear is one way he's vulnerable, and Discord is powerful enough that his fears are, to an extent, justified. He fears for Twilight's very life, and Discord is a serious and world-ending threat. More fear, more self-doubt, less rational thinking about the problem. There's a lot of this I don't know anything about, yet what I do know is that friendship and love makes us better than the cruel, greedy monsters we're born as. I know them. I'm grateful for that, and so the world is worth saving. It's simple for me because of that, but it's not easy for him, though he's one of the most loved beings in all of space and time. I can't solve this problem, but there's no doubt the solution is there to be found. I don't know what the right place would be for nailing down the timeline. I don't know what Discord will do next, but I do know that to trust in love and friendship.
Hey, Patience, is the Doctor exactly the same as you remember? Or do you think he's different regenerations aside?
Data's regenerations always leads to large personality changes, so that's difficult to judge. He seems far more hopeless, far more frightened than I've ever seen him.
Patients, be very careful not to make the doctor very angry. The last two caused him to get very angry, but on his side. Hard.
I have never, nor will I ever, fear for my life or well-being. If anger will change how he's dealing with this problem, then I'll work with that.
Miss Minuet, we must warn that there's a curse on the doctor that's causing him to expel his regeneration energy. Minuet, the TARDIS hourglass has been absorbing regeneration energy from the doctor.
That makes sense. Curses are nasty little things, but at least the energy is being stored up. There will come a time when we'll need it. I wonder if it could be harnessed to handle the Discord problem.
I care about and respect you, Doc, but considering the scale of things here, I really don't think this whole thing should hinge on what Twilight wants. This is bigger than her. I don't think she ought to get to make a decision on that.
It's Twilight's friends. It's her timeline, and she's not just an average person. She was a royal. I think she should have every right to choose.
You seem pretty adamant about avoiding Discord, but what will you do? If for whatever reason he decides to go after someone you care about, like Twilight.
And I'll do whatever I can to save her, except directly confront him. That would only make the situation much, much worse.
Quite frankly, Doctor, if you did want to run away, I honestly don't think you have the option of stopping Discord from following you to the next universe over what's stopping him from coming after Twilight.
You have a point. But at least it would give us more time for a while. And we could keep running as far as we can.
Your love for Twilight is what started bringing back your love for everything. But once time is altered, Twilight won't remember everything that happened, including the moments you had with her. Without Twilight's love, you'll go back to being your old dark self.
Maybe I will. Or maybe worse still. I'll have just enough love left to be heartbroken.
The Doctor, Teta, whoever you are or wanna be, you need to act your age, not your bra size. The universe, possibly even the multiverse, is at risk, and you're standing around moping. That's not the you I know, and maybe not the one you know either. I believe in you.
I'm not that old in this body. Not even 5 years. I have 1,000 years of memories. As if you'd know what someone that age would act like. You won't even likely hit 100 or know anyone that old.
If Discord is the one responsible for everything, and if he gets capable of snapping his fingers and destroying everything, then why hasn't he done so? It would be just too easy, but this is just a bluff. He hates being alone. He enjoys playing with his food. If that is the case, play with that until you can find a way to solve this.
It's the playing that makes him the most dangerous. He could distort and transform your body, throw you in a void, torment you for an eternity. I don't want to give him any reasons to make things worse for me than they already are.
Doctor, your last adventure with the changelings may have left you drained at the time, but whenever you've seen or come across them since, it always seemed to perk you back up, like you remember them positively. I find that very interesting, given your current feelings and self-sacrificial heroism. Do you really regret it all that much? Or deep down, are you still proud of yourself for that just a tiny bit?
All right. Changelings are fascinating creatures. I don't hate them, but I haven't really had the chance to process feeling glad about saving them. I can't weigh what's worth in comparison to my state.
Wait, I'm pretty sure that the changelings themselves said that your love was meant to return naturally, and it's been a long, long time since you've helped them. Maybe that's something you should look into as well. Look into it why it feels like your love is still so limited. It might be nothing, sure, but when love and magic is so deeply intertwined, I want to count something like that out. Your ignorance to reach out to the experts. Ever wonder if something is preventing that ocean from being refilled? Perhaps they deliberately poked a leak, ensuring that it can only remain a puddle. After all, nothing's been scarier to a selfish, power-hungry chaos lord than a doctor with all his passion and love for the universe restored.
Suppose it's worth looking into. But later.
You feel like you need more love in your life. Shamey Shajak, I remember he was really into you at one point. If I recall, you pretended not to notice. Maybe you should work on building some more bridges rather than violently burning them to the ground. Then you'd have more of a variety of friends. And at the very least, that you'd lose anyway. I suppose maybe quit while you're ahead. Maybe you'd have more people in your life if you didn't go around shooting your friends.
He was going to shoot me. It was self-defense. They all burned the bridge first, not me.
Doctor, you're smart. I'm with the TARDIS. You really have all the time in the world. Take your time and figure something out. Maybe there's some way you can help, even indirectly.
Right. Focus. God, this waiting is killing me. Honestly.
But why did you give the changelings all your love in the first place, Doctor? That's such an extreme thing to do for your do to yourself for the sake of others. It almost feels self-destructive. Not to make any judgments here, but it is strange to me how self-sacrificing you used to be compared to how fierce your self-preservation instinct is now. Be honest. Did you really not fear death, or did you just not consider the possibility? What changed?
I wanted desperately to make up for my mistakes in my previous lives, and I was willing to put everything into doing that. I didn't even think about dying, just that I needed to protect this universe at any cost.
Doctor, you have battled gods before, the world builder, the Eternals, living planets and stars, even took on a people with cosmic powers over their reality. Discord might be powerful, but throughout your life, you really have faced things just as bad as Discord. So my question is, why are you really so against facing Discord?
He's different from them. Even though he's a being of chaos, he has more control than any of you know. If you knew the truth, you'd know why. But I just can't say it. I won't.
The problem with wanting to fix things without confronting Discord is that once things start turning around, he will likely come to you, if not to stop you from succeeding, then to use you as a tool to find new ways to break things. Even if you never want to meet him again, have a contingency ready just in case. Because we've seen what the universe thinks about you, about what you want. Oh, and don't actually tell us what it is. The medium of communication may not be entirely secure.
Well, I can agree that a contingency is at least a smart idea. So I'll think on that.
Maybe what you saw in the cave isn't directly connected, but that doesn't mean it's completely irrelevant. If I were a power-hungry chaos god who wants to control the world, the first thing I do is take its de facto savior out of the commission. Admit it, Doc. All the talent changes you've seen so far have popped up after the cave, and you've changed a lot since then too. Doctor, have you ever considered that Discord made you see what he showed you so that you wouldn't confront him? He has manipulated other versions of Tyler's friends that way. I wouldn't put it past him to do that with you. He likely hasn't ended you because he finds it funny to watch what you do.
If he did, then it worked. But I know the truth is a fact, and not some illusion he cooked up. I looked into it more on my own to make sure.
Everything you believe in was wrong? I seem to remember Doctor Who believed in love and friendship. above all else. Cheesy as it is. No matter what the circumstances, the love and connection you built with countless beings throughout 1,000 years in real, and it always will be. We love you, Doc. That's the honest truth of it.
Just shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
While we may be able to throw you some ideas, I think listening to us is more distracting than helping right now. Maybe you could try making a list of your top 3 plans.
You're right. I'm done communicating for now. It's thinking time.
Meanwhile,
This is, this should be where the mirror pool is located.
all right, all right. We'll bring all the equipment in and start studying the pool.
I'll do whatever I can to make this right.
I believe in all of you to find a way to build a happy ending to the story. Or at least an ending, if nothing else. An unfinished tale is the worst, and a total failure on Discord's part. I don't see why he'd see that as a win or anything unless they know they lose at the final page. Or is he scared of such an outcome?
Temple has traces of Discord signature.
Either he made the pool or he infected it. I don't know what's up. It appears the magic is dormant right now.
It must only become active when incantation is used.
It wouldn't be a good idea to activate the spell, not with Discord's influence over it.
We're not here to make clones. We're here to see if Pinkie Pie can be rescued. So we need to think of how to do that.
So now that Twy is in the group, will she be like a spy?
I don't intend to spy. I'm just helping them find a solution for the doctor with my magic know-how.
Twilight, it seems that in the future Discord caused lots of trouble. It seems that he went unopposed for many years. That means you and the princesses must have died in the future.
Well, if I learned anything from the doctor, it's that the future can be changed.
Twy, how do you know the Discord's magic won't affect you again?
I don't. But I just have to believe this will work. As long as I have hope, I can fight it.
Oh, Ditsy, Twilight, please be careful. Torchwood isn't exactly always trustworthy.
Oh, don't worry about that. Twilight and I agreed to keep a skeptical eye on them.
Ditsy, remember when the doctor did to you while under the curse? Jack has the same reaction, but to the doctor. Don't get caught in crossfire, please.
I may not look it, but I'm a whole lot stronger than Jack. And I know how to restrain a Pegasus. Warden's training gave me the confidence to do it.
Davy, you shouldn't trust Torchwood. They're willing to kill the doctor if it means saving the universe. If the doctor dies, who'll save the future if Torchwood fails?
If Jack is willing to kill the doctor just to stop him, you better keep your eye on him.
You'll have to get through my strength and Twilight's magic to do it. I will do anything to reach a peaceful solution.
Hey, Twilight, maybe you could make a memento for the doctor based on the times you spent with him in your memory spell. That way, after the timeline is fixed, he can still remember what you shared.
If I make that choice, I'll do that, yes. For both our sakes.
Twilight, do you know a pony by the name of Minuet?
Minuet? Yes, she comes to the library sometimes. She's very polite and well-spoken. She's the only unicorn crystal pony I've seen, but I thought it might be a sensitive subject if I asked her about it.
Twilight, I know you can't use the memory spell on the doctor, but could it be recreated with science? Neurosurgeon took a lot of logs while with the doctor. Maybe he could share his knowledge as well as Derpy and Jack's own memories with the doctor to mimic it.
I'm still learning about magic, but if you teach me, I'm sure we can combine forces.
It's definitely worth a try, but it could take some time to figure out how to make it work.
Twilight, what would it affect your discussion to the Doctor has killed trillions? There are places in his old universe that worship him as a god of destruction and lies. He's only gotten worse since he came to your own.
I think the Doctor has to deal with very complex situations and complicated choices, and that he doesn't take any joy in the lives lost.
So, Twilight, how are you going to combat Hyde if he were to suddenly come out? After all, Discord's curse on the Doctor has become stronger and gained sentience.
I still have my magic, you know.
You didn't seem to be very shocked by what Jack and Ditzy told you about what the Doctor did to them. In fact, it seemed kind of like you were minimizing it almost. I'd call shooting Jack in the face something a bit bigger than a friendship problem, don't you agree? We all want to help the Doctor, but we can't let our emotions make us forget how violent and dangerous he is now.
I don't think he would have shot Jack if Jack couldn't come back to life. And the Doctor's not in control of himself. These aren't things he truly wants to do. I've seen what Discord's magic did to my friends and even me. We become the worst of ourselves.
Twilight, has your opinion of the Doctor changed at all, knowing what you know now? Knowing what he kept from you?
I feel more cautious about him, but I also want to help him more than ever.
I've done a full sweep, and I can detect a faint signature from Pony.
I don't know if Pinky is still in the mirror pool, Twilight. Hopefully there's a way to get her out of there, right?
And it's time to use the spell I came up with that's a reversal of the one I used to send the clone away. Bring an end to the heartache brought on by a vital mistake. Reach deeply into the well where the magic copies dwell. Find my friend and hold her tight so I may see her this night.
Blip, 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 blip.
Twilight, how do you think Pinky would react if you were able to save her? Will she forgive you or not? Are you sure that the real Pinky will come out? Has time passed for Pinky while she was in the pool? Just how long has Pinky been in that thing? Is she even going to be alive?
That wasn't really a smile. Her lips were pulled back when her body dried out from the lack of food and air in the mirror realm. It's the kind of smile that only comes with death. Twilight, I'm so sorry.
If you're able to successfully get Pinky back, what's the plan from there?
It's fine. At least now she can have her name cleared of those horrible crimes and she can be buried. I'm gonna wait outside for a bit. You take care of the body?
All right, take a breather and try to make the best of this.
Are you okay, Twilight? That was a pretty traumatizing event to have witnessed. Please, take a rest to process everything so you can have a clear mind on what to do next.
Hold on, loading. Twilight?
Maybe you should go follow her, Ditzy. Twilight's a strong gal, but she already have gone through a lot. Right now, she really needs a caring friend. These tortured fellows are not even close to that.
Sorry, I hope I'm not interrupting anything. No, it's fine. I've had enough time to think about things.
Hey, Twine. You gonna be okay? I mean, I'm sure you're feeling more some sense of closure from this, but you still look rattled. For lack of a better term, you can talk to us.
How are you closing up? Mixed feelings. I'm glad I found her, but it wasn't what I was hoping for. She's going to have a big, proper funeral, and everybody's going to know she wasn't that horrible monster they thought he was. Yes, so I'm glad, mostly. I think I'll be. Uh-huh. Huh? Angel? Huh?